FX's Rescue Me, Season 5, Baptism. FX's Rescue Me is now in its 5th season. I watched the show for the first time this past Tuesday, the episode entitled Baptism, Michael J. Fox being the draw for me. Despite the previous 4 seasons worth of good buzz, I just couldn't bring myself to tune in. It's not that I have anything against the FDNY. As a matter of fact, one of our windows looks out onto the house that is the home of the pride, that is the Upper West Side Ladder Company 25, mascot Yosemite Sam. I see these brave men go out daily, risking their lives and their safety to protect others, and sometimes even when they're stopping off at the local market to shop. It was just that all these years later, I still had 9/11 issues. We lived several miles north of Ground Zero, but hubby has friends who lived closer and had to relocate as a result of collateral damage to the neighborhood. And even though we were fortunate in that no one that we know lost their life, still had 9/11 issues. There were factors that made the prospect of watching a show about NYC firefighters a dicey subject for me that I would have just as soon avoid until now. Rescue Me is anything but a downer, and I'm sorry it took me so long to check it out. Other than Dennis Leary's Tommy, I'm not familiar with the other characters, but I'm looking forward to getting to know all of them better. So far, the moments that have hooked me were the scene where the crew are battling the blaze in a building where there are squatters, some of whom are also mentally unstable. One of the firemen has to clock one of them to get them to leave because they refuse to vacate the building. Also, the building turns out to have fireworks, which are illegal in New York City. It has fireworks stashed in them, and they start to ignite as the guys are trying to get out. Then Murphy's Law kicks in. The hydrant isn't functioning, and the chief has to make a Hobson's choice. I like Tommy's irreverence and his brutal honesty. The scene of his dad's burial, someone comments on how much they enjoyed the bagpipes playing of Amazing Grace. Tommy, without skipping a beat, replies that having heard the tune so frequently that he'd have been more impressed if they'd played Iron Butterflies in a Cata Vita. Later, his relatives are watching home movies. Everybody's all sentimental, but Tommy continues to tell it like it is. Michael J. Fox's character Dwight is dating Tommy's ex and is effortlessly pushing Tommy's buttons. Michael J. Fox's story arc is only slated for 3 more eps, but I'll be sticking around after that concludes. Rescue Me has a new fan in me. Rescue Me airs Tuesdays at 10 p.m. on FX. Please check your local listings.